let's begin with the idea why we get stressed out. And if I give you the answer, you'll find it so simple that it will be hard to believe. And this webinar is being recorded, so it'll be available for replay, and I'd like you to hear it over and over again. And just for your information, this webinar, we're not selling anything. This is mainly for the people who have the Ancient Secrets of Success book. And I've been asked many questions about it. So I decided to do this to help out people in their pursuit for success. So let's begin. Why can't we hold a vision and manifest a vision? Every time I give a seminar, whether in Hong Kong or whether in China, whether in Vancouver or the United States, anywhere in the city, do you know what happens? The first question I ask irritates everybody. So I can't teach you if you don't know what you want. So you're wasting your money, you're wasting your time coming into this seminar, paying a huge amount of money, and you'll get lots of theories. And there are thousands of books, and there are fantastic books, the most famous books in the world, from Laws of Success to Think and Grow Rich. But have you noticed? And you can, like Napoleon Hill says, whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, he can achieve, or she can achieve. Think. Conception and belief are the two key factors. How do you conceive? When you're stressed. How do you believe? If your circumstances tells you can't have it. But that's a statement of fact. If you can conceive and believe, you can achieve. That's why he named as one of his finest books, Think and Grow Rich. But look at the reverse side. So if you can think and grow rich, you should also you can also think and grow poor. It applies. It's an unfailing law. It's a cause and effect. The cause is the thought, and the manifestation is the thing, the embodiment. Every thought hurries for embodiment. Every thought will manifest unless it is cancelled. That's why I said we live, two things in our life is constant. We breathe and we live. We think. Thought. So the whole process of mastering your life, taking control of your life, is managing to think what you want to think. You know, when I say this, it's like water over a duck's back. It's close to, okay, tell me how I'm going to, how I can become rich, or how I can become peaceful, how I can have romance in my life. That's all okay. They say, never mind the labor pain, show me the baby. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to work it. Like in my letter I wrote, if you work it, then it will work. If you love yourself, if you care about yourself, you will take and make the effort to make yourself successful. Nobody can make you successful. And if you look at the history of all successful people, they taught themselves way to success. Now, so the first thing first, when I go to any seminar, any retreats and anything, I start the whole process with one sentence. What do you want? And if you don't know what you want, you become like this. This is stress. When we're not clear, we don't have a clear picture of what we want, we look like this stick man or stick woman. This is not funny. If you go and get on the bus or go on the highway, people going to work, they're going to work like this actually. Most of them. They don't have a clear-cut picture of what they want. The first thing first, tonight, after this webinar, I would like you to make a journal or start a journal. If you don't have a journal, take a sheet of paper and write down on top of it, what do I want? And you know, you will get stuck. People get irritated, people get angry. They said, I don't know what I want. Don't bother me. But and do you know why? And that's why this is what happens to them. They'll just compromise. They'll keep themselves bailing out themselves, and just to stay afloat. To make it safely to retirement, and they don't know even what retirement is. Retirement seems to be fun. Life should be fun now. Life should be one long concept of retirement. And if you don't know where you want to go and what you want, this is what's going to happen to you. You'll be running as fast as you can and not going anywhere. Remember in the story of Alice in Wonderland, the rabbit had a clock in his hand and he was running as fast as he could, but he was staying in the same place. Why? Because he didn't know where he was going to. Stress comes out of that. The secret, you have to know the secret behind all secrets. But before I get to the next point, remember, unless you make that statement, what do I want, and write it down, don't do anything else. You'll be wasting your time, which you probably had set goals and visions many times in your life. But let's start anew tonight. And write down secret behind all. I'm going to give you the secret behind all secrets. But you have to apply these secrets. So now what you write, what I want, will be your yardstick. You're measuring a benchmark to find out whether these secrets that you're learning is working or not. Otherwise, it'll be just theories like any other book. I didn't write this book to write another self-improvement book, self-help book. I read most of the books there. But I found the secret deep in the Himalayas. Then I found the same secrets resided with the Western world. And I found the same secrets in the indigenous world. I have found the same secrets in the Buddhistic world. And I found the same secrets in the Christian world and the Jewish world. These secrets is because those literature was made and written to make us successful, to set goals and accomplish and achieve goals. That's called script, the script of an actor. That's why those books are called scripture. Every actor needs a script to play a part. And you have to follow that script, but you have to choose your role. What role are you going to play in this life? The role of a father, role of a mother, role of a sister, role of a friend, the role of an entrepreneur. So you have to be serious about this. You can't have a fling with your life. It's not just an affair, it's a matter of life. So let's begin. Secret behind all secrets. Now you see, The secrets are not in the laws. Because we say, okay, the secret of success is in the law of attraction. Certainly not. Law of attraction, it causes all the stress for you right now because you don't know how to manage the law of attraction. The law of attraction means anything you think will be attracted to you. All thoughts find embodiment. All thoughts find manifestation. The law of attraction will attract anything you think. So can you control your thought right now? Most people are thinking and things and they're causing harm to themselves. But if you tell them it's your fault, they'll get irritated with you. They'll get angry with you. Not because you're bad, because they can't change their thinking pattern. So the ancient secrets of success teaches you how to change your thinking pattern and how you can think what you want to think. We take breathing for granted. We don't think that we are breathing. Do you know we breathe 21,600 times a day, waking or sleeping? And when you stop breathing, we don't live anymore. Breath is life. And if you're not thinking, you're not living anymore. So the thinking is a part and parcel of life. And we don't take thinking seriously. Now it should be your business to take thinking seriously. So we get all caught up. That's the secret, law of attraction. You know, everything that you've got in your life today was manifested to you, good or bad, by the law of attraction. Law of attraction will work regardless of what you do. Then why do we think of what can go wrong? The secret is in our ability to think only what we want and not what we don't want. That's the real secret. That's why the title of this slide is A Secret Behind All Secrets. Believe you me, if you can only master breathing and thinking properly, one of the series of this webinars I will talk about breathing. But two things in your life is unchangeable, and they make your life healthy and wealthy and peaceful and loving, and romance will be your very being. Remember, romance is everything in life. Most people, because they're so stressed out, thinks romance is a secondary thing. Romance is like a vacation you take once a year or twice a year. That even if you can. Romance is not sexual. It's prior to sexual. It is more than sexual. Romance is life. There's a romance of friendship. There's a romance of a father to a son. Romance of a man and a woman. There's a romance of everything. You romance. When you go in your garden, you romance with the flowers. People can't even smell the roses today. Because why? Because they don't know what they want. And do you know why they don't know what they want? Because they don't know how to think. And the secrets, the ancient secrets, will show you how to think only the thoughts that you want to think. Next question is, how do you do that? That is the secret. How do you do that? Just for confirmation, I'm going to give you a quick view of how do laws work. Law of gravitation, if you practice law of gravitation, if you understand law of gravitation, it'll tell you, if I throw anything up from the 14th floor, it'll fall down and break the thing. If a kid, innocent kid, falls from above, the law of gravitation will not judge whether this kid is innocent or a baby, but he'll fall, he'll break his bones. Same way with the law of electricity. If you violate the law of electricity, it can electrocute you. And at the same time, the same law of electricity can light up your home, can run your computer, can cook you delicious food. Law of flotation. Once you understand the law, when you understand the law of flotation, before everybody saw wood float. So they made boats and ships out of wood. So the first people who came to America came in wooden boats. But when they discovered how the law of flotation works, today we have cruise ships, steel ships, a whole town, 3,000, 4,000 people, with everything floating in the ocean, going around the world. We are having condos in the ocean because they understood the law of flotation. But the same law of flotation drowns people. And the same law of flotation is used to swim the English Channel. So law of attraction works the same way. The laws are unchangeable. They're impersonal. They do not care about you. They have no feelings. It's how you manipulate the law or obey the law, and you'll get the maximum out of it. It's your feelings that works it. Law of attraction is your feelings. You can think anything. You can say, okay, I've got this, this idea that if you just make a vision board, it'll come. But a vision board without the power to believe in it, if it happens, it happened. Many people's vision boards work because they had injected the feeling of it occasionally, the motivation behind it. But if you think if you put up a picture of a home, a picture of a car, a picture of a vacation, then you'll get it? No. It has to be backed up with the motivation, with the feelings of it. Life is thinking and feeling. Thinking and feeling is everything. Let's begin then. Let's begin our whole discourse on this. Why can't we hold a thought and manifest the vision? A quick review. To put a quick review of why Ancient Secrets will help you to do that. In the first part of the book, there are two parts of the book. The first part of the book, I give you the theory, backed up with stories, anecdotes, which you can relate to. And these are old stories, folklores, like the story of the poor farmer, this wish-fulfilling tree, the frog of the well, the frog of the ocean, the scorpion and the frog. These stories, when you read them, actually it embeds in you. Then you can identify, the scorpion stung me. Or I'm behaving like the frog of the well. Or I am sitting under the wish-fulfilling tree and thinking all the wrong thoughts. So I'll go through that in a minute. Let us see the poor farmer under the wish-fulfilling tree. That's in chapter 9. This is for you who have the books. And by the way, for those who don't have the books can go to my website and get it. Okay? Now, let us see the poor farmer under the wish-fulfilling tree. It's chapter 9 and page 65 in the book. Let me quickly tell you the story to recap it. This poor farmer in India, and he was going in a hot summer's day to the bazaar to pick up seeds for the next season planting. While he was going there, it was hot summer's day, he sat under the shade of a tree. But he did not know that the shade of the tree, that tree is a wish-fulfilling tree. Anything you wished for under the tree, it manifested instantly. It's a metaphor. It's a metaphor of your life. So he was thirsty and he said, oh, I wish I had some glass of cold water. And there arrived not only cold water, sharbat, a sweet drink, because you get more than you ask for if you ask for right. And then he said, oh, I'm hungry. If I had some sweets, whole plate of desserts came. So the boy, he ate it. He said, I feel tired. You know, if I had a bed came. And he lay down on the bed. I said, if I had a home came. He said, if I had a wife, he had a wife came. If I had children, because farmers need children to help them in the farming. I've got lots of children. I said, boy, this is great. And all this was going as normal to most of us. So what happens now? If a tiger comes and eats me up, a tiger came and ate him up. The wish-fulfilling tree doesn't judge. How many times we did this to our lives? And, you know, how many times, just stop and think for a moment, how many times we did this with our life? Then let us see the next. Now let us see the lion cub. And the lion cub that grew up with the goats. Okay? And who was raised by goats, reclaiming his lionhood. The cub forgot that he was a lion. So let me tell you this story here. I'm going to quickly tell you this story. Let us examine how. There was this lion cub that was left behind. The hunters killed the lioness and dragged her off, and they didn't see that the lion cub was in the cave. So the lion cub, you know, lion cubs are helpless, and there were a bunch of goats around. They took pity on this little cub and raised it as one of their own. So he was eating grass and leaves and anything goats eat. And so all of a sudden, out in the hillock there in the mountain, a big lion with its beautiful mane came and gave a roar, and all the goats ran helter-skelter for their lives. This cub did not, though he thought it was a goat, inside he knew there is something more to him than what a goat is, like you do. So he stood there, watching the magnificent lion with his mane. And what happened was, the lion came and asked him, why? Why do you eat grass? Why do you eat leaves? And why do you bleat like a goat? He said, "Yee, I'm a goat." I said, oh, the lion laughed. He said, "You're not a goat. You're a lion." The lion cub says, "No, I am a goat." The lion could not convince him that he is a lion and not a goat. So the lion said, "Okay, come along with me." So he came along and took him to the nearest pond. And in that pond, the still pond, in that wood, in the forest, the lion told him, showed him, said, "Look at my face." So he saw the beautiful lion's face and the cub. And then he said, "Why, now look at my reflection in the pond." So he saw in the still pond the reflection of the lion. I said, "Oh, you are that." He said, "Now look at your face in the reflection in the pond." And he looked at his reflection. And then looked up at the lion. And looked again at the reflection. And looked up at the lion. And he said, and he gave a roar. "I am a lion." You see, somebody had to show him who he is. How often have you been asking the question, who am I? People don't take this seriously. If you don't know who you are, you wouldn't know what you can do. We suffer from a spiritual amnesia. Spirit is everything. People say, that's a regular question, who am I? Ancient Secrets gives you that answer. Your identity, what your power is, in the Ancient Secrets gives you through the Four Proclamations. The Four Mahavakyams, it's called. It's ancient, over 3,000 years old. Maha means great, and Vakya means words. And the first word is consciousness creates. In Sanskrit, it is Pragyanam Brahma. Pragyanam means prior to even Pragya. Jnana is the root word for Gnostic, wisdom, knowledge. And Nam means before your formation of your identity, you have that consciousness. And Brahma is the creative energy in you. Then the second proclamation, that thou art, tat tavam ashi. Everything is consciousness. And that is the key. A stone, a plant, an animal, and humans, and beyond are made of the one thing. Even that's why in every American coin is stamped the words A pluribus unum. A means that, pluribus means plurality, many. Unum is one. We are one. As Hermes says, as all things are from one, by the mediation of one. So all things have their birth from this one thing, by adaptation. Our thoughts are a process of adaptation. And we know one thing, even Dr. Heisenberg, the great Nobel, in Copenhagen interpretation, he says, matter is not a thing. Everything you touch, everything you see, everything you smell, everything you hear is the one thing. Next is my consciousness creates. I am Atma Brahma. I am, the self is Brahma. The self creates. And the self is consciousness. And the fourth proclamation, I create. Aham Brahmasmi. And the equivalent to that is I am that. Every breath of you is saying I am that. Then I'll tell you what, the secret is in these four proclamations. You have to know how to meditate. So the ancient secrets, I'm going to go through the mechanical process first, then I will go back to visioning, and then I will show you how you can control your thoughts. And then you'll know how to hold a vision and manifest the vision. That's our quest tonight. 4 steps to meditation. These 4 proclamations you have to meditate. Very soon you'll get a letter from me telling you how to spend the whole day using the 4 proclamation and what to do and how to go about your daily working life. And that will help you to stay stress-free. 4 steps to meditation is, first step, before you start meditating, you have to know, you have to take positioning. In any battlefield, the first thing is, what is your positioning? Like even if you're flying a plane, the pilot will ask the controller, what is my approach? It's positioning itself. Then the next is purpose. What are you going to meditate on? The intention, dharana. Like when you say, okay, position yourself to take charge of your life. And then the second point will say purpose, dharana. So you'll say prajnanam brahma. Consciousness is the creator. Consciousness creates. Consciousness creates. Those of you who have the record, the CD of the music that I have, you'll see my voice there. Consciousness creates. Consciousness creates. Consciousness creates. Consciousness creates. Consciousness is the creator. Then the second one you will say tattavamashi, tattavamashi, tattavamashi. That means you're not restricted by matter anymore. Everything is there at your disposal. Everything you touch is that. Creation is always ex nihilo. It was made out of nothing. If you just look at the story of creation in every tradition, doesn't matter what tradition you belong to, all of this tradition starts with cosmogony, how the world was created. And why was it given there? So you create your world the same way. And two things are permanent. The two things are, in every tradition has two things: earth, water and spirit, to make the earth. Look at the Genesis. It says, in the beginning there's only water, and the water separated into earth. The Spirit of God hovered over the water. In the Vedas, in the Hindu cosmogony, Vishnu was floating on water in this causal ocean, dreaming, and from the dream everything was created. Then in the indigenous world, anywhere from North America to from Mexico to here, the story of the Turtle Island. There was only water, and all the animals were floating. They're getting tired. Water is spirit. And then they went deep into the water. The muskrat, the beaver, they went deep and took out the earth from the depths of the water and put it on the turtle back. And the sun dried it, and the earth moved. These are not fables. These are scientific stories of creation, the same we do ourselves. We go deep into the spirit and meditating tattavam ashi, tattavam ashi. That's the water. That's tawat. Everything is spirit. Everything you touch is spirit. And spirit congeals into matter. You cannot have spirit and not matter, and you cannot have matter without spirit. They are the two ends of a stick. There's a polarity. You can't have a one-ended stick. A stick has to have two ends. Then the third position is concentration. See, when you repeat, dharana means you hold a thought, and concentration is then you focus right into. This is not visualization. This is actually concentrating on your own self, who you are, what your power is. You are making your own driver's license of this universe, because your identity is in a driver's license or your passport, whatever the thing. You see, I am that. Concentration. So you concentrate, focus, prolong concentration. Concentrate means gathering at the center, and that is an irresistible power. Then you become one. With a deep, prolonged concentration, you become one with the purpose. I create, I create, I create. So when you know I create, your dependency on your circumstances will diminish and completely be annihilated, destroyed, and then you can think the thoughts that you want to think. When you take these 4 proclamations and use the 4 steps to meditation, then into visualization, you create the intention, the archetype, the fire, the seed. The seed is everything. In the seed is the tree, but you can't see it. In your intention, it should be specific. I want to travel around the world. See yourself travel on the plane. And the intention must be backed with a motivation. Cannot be cold. It should be filled with romance. It should be the romance, the love for a child. Is invincible. When your intention is when you have the romantic intention, then you have absolutely become mad. Because I want my son to be strong, powerful, and you said that I need to make him rich, so I have to be rich. Or I want to be healthy, I want to stay healthy. The intention, and then you have to see the picture, and that's your imagination. And that's the waters of consciousness, which all this cosmogony speaks about. Even every single tradition talks about the spirit as water. Let him who's athirst drink the water of life freely. Doesn't cost you a penny, it's free. Spirit is yours, and you are spirit. And that is what imagination is. That's why Einstein talks about imagination. He said imagination is more important than knowledge. Was he kidding? Oh, it's a cute statement. We say, oh yeah, that's good. But most people cannot imagine. Their imagination is locked in their brain. They cannot imagine. That's why they're stuck in that box. The imagination is suffering from the tyranny of the intellect. You can't let go. Can you imagine if I told you, if you couldn't imagine today, I wouldn't be able to talk to you. I'm talking to you from Toronto, around the world. There are people from Australia, people from Thailand listening to this at the moment and watching me. If you had told this to your grandfather, great-grandfather, they'd say, get out of here. Isaac Asimov even couldn't imagine this, the great science fiction writer, the futuristic writer. But somebody imagined it. Zuckerberg imagined the Facebook. Single-handedly, without an army, he rules the world. He hasn't got a state. He's an American, but today the whole world he can control with his Facebook. Bill Gates can control with his Microsoft. Apple, Steve Jobs made a world with their imagination. That is one of the courses I'd like to have with you is just practicing imagination. There is nothing more powerful than imagination. I used to play games, with imagination. Be mad. Imagination will make you mad. Unless you're mad, you can't be a romantic either. And the thing is vision, or the action. How you hold that imagination, organize it into a vision, and then your action is continuously holding the vision. And you won't be able to hold the vision. The subject of the matter today is, the matter of the subject is, why can't we hold the vision? You can only hold the vision if you go and start meditating on the Four Proclamations, because then your dependency on circumstances will not be absolute. You can tell them, I create my own circumstances. That is being different. That is staying out of the box. And then every single thing in this world was a thought first. Anything organically made, inorganically made, is a thought embodied. Your computer is somebody's thought that you're looking through. Your smartphone is somebody's thought. It's an embodiment of a thought. That's the earth. So there's actually, the ancients named it fire, water, air, and earth. How to have control over your intention? The first thing is the more control you have over your mind to think the thoughts that you want to think, the more control you'll have over your intention and over your life. When you have control over your intention, then you have control over your life. And you will never, if you have control over your life and your intention, you can't get stressed out. Because you know what you want. And doesn't matter what comes in the way, you know you can create it with the Four Proclamations. And that's time tested. It's not something discovered by somebody and psychologist, something a few days ago, a few years ago, a few decades ago. 3,000 years it's been tested, which made commoners into monarchs, poor and rich. Your power to intend what you really want depends on your recognition and realization that consciousness creates. And that's in the Four Proclamations. This can only happen with the meditation on the Four Proclamations, which makes you realize your relationship with the universe and who you are. Read these words over and over and over again. I know you'll be successful. I know you will hold a vision and manifest a vision. And then you cannot be stressed out. Stress is the lack of vision, lack of power. Stress comes out of lack of vision and lack of power. Visualization gives you the vision, and meditation gives you the power. Meditation is not sitting in la la land. There's hundreds of kinds of meditations. All have their purpose. This meditation, the Four Proclamation meditation, the Mahavakya meditation, was designed for people who are working, soldiers, warriors, fighters, business people, householders. You know, that's what, for mothers and fathers and brothers. This is for people that are day-to-day working. They're not living in the forests. For them too it will be great, and it is great. The Ancient Secrets of Success, chapter 20, page 144. Let me go there right now. But this what I read to you is in the Ancient Secrets of Success, chapter 20, page 144. Read it. Go and pick up that book and read it. Don't just read that book. That book was written, took me years to write it. I was sitting in the Himalayas, villages where there is no electricity. There was no telephone, nothing. And I was discussing it with teachers. And they said, you know, the question is, why are people stressed out? In the old days, we didn't have this stress. Even in the midst of the waging battle, we didn't have all the amenities. Today, the world is on your fingertips, and yet we get stressed. And don't forget, stress has not even started yet. With the robots coming in and with the automation of everything, we have to create. Today's economy is not an economy of scarcity. Old days, when you went to study economics, they taught you how to handle scarce goods and distribute it properly. That's why I didn't take economics. I took commerce, so the commerce teaches you how to make plenty. Anyway, that's another story. Okay, that's my mother told me when I was deciding to go to college. I said, Mom, what should I take? She said, I got opening in economics and commerce. She said, don't take economics. It'll make you poor because you'll study scarcity. But take commerce, it'll show you how you can make money. Because she was a wise woman, and I always listened to her, and I took commerce. Now, Ancient Secrets of the economy of today, it's just to give you an idea, is in the human ingenuity. Keynesian theory teaches you demand and supply. There are so many goods, and the price of a good is at what price it can be demanded at. If the supply is less, the price goes up. Just to give you an idea that that is a fallacy. I'm telling you, that's a fallacy. For example, in the old days, before the days of the fuel injection pumps in the cars, you had the carburetors. Those of you who know what a carburetor is, I know the millennials may not know it. The cars used to go at, say, 8 miles a gallon or 10 miles a gallon. Now they go to 40, 50 miles a gallon. So what happened? The gas, the petrol, underground is constant. So the supply was constant. So we increased the efficiency of the fuel from the carburetor with the fuel injection pump. So now the gas underground multiplied at least 10 times. So it's not a study of scarcity. Human ingenuity increased the wealth. With the ancient secrets of success, and today's economy is based on your ingenuity, and you will see how you can set goals. If your reach does not exceed your grasp, what is heaven for? I remember an old friend of mine, he was in Georgia. He said to me, you know, Tulshi, no goals are bad. Small goals are sad. I'll never forget it. No goals are bad. Small goals are sad. So you see, the fourth steps to meditation, you become one with the proclamation. It's I create, I create, I create, I create, I create. How meditation and the four proclamations work. The effect of meditation is like the stalagmite reaching up to join the stalactite to form the eye. In the caves, in the caverns, I'll show you a picture of the stalagmite. Okay, here. In the caves, the limestone drops, stalactite is above, drop, 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 and the stalagmite underneath forms and forms to approach the stalactite up. If you see here, you see the stalactite. See here, the stalactite is going upwards to touch the stalagmite is touching the stalactite. And guess what? Drop by drop, you become, and they form and touches and become into the word I. That is such an important visual that I'm giving you here. This is the real picture of a stalactite and a stalagmite. Look at this here. This is, if you look at it here, okay, see this I is formed. See this is what happens. Pragyanam Brahma, Pragyanam Brahma. Consciousness is the creator. Consciousness creates. Consciousness creates. And the 4 steps to meditation, you will be surprised how it becomes a part of your being. And you'll also be surprised that no negative thoughts can invade your mind. That's why you become, that's called detachment. Detachment is knowing, the definition of detachment is when you understand the 4 proclamations, the 4 steps to visualization, and the 4 steps of meditation. You will know that detachment is not rejecting anything. It's more or less desiring more, but believing that whatever you do, you don't believe, you have to know, whatever you do will bring about the intended result. Write that down. And you will see yourself how to think the thoughts we want to think and banish the thoughts we don't want to think. I'm coming to a conclusion now. Meditation on the Four Proclamations releases you from dependency on your circumstances. This is what the outcome is. No amount of theory can train your mind. You cannot learn to swim by reading a book. Go to page 55 of the Ancient Secrets of Success. I explained that. You have to jump in the water. And the third thing is very important. Heart and brain. People talk about Mars and Venus. It's actually Venus and Mercury. Mercury is the brain. And heart is the Venus, desire. What I've given you is the mercurial knowledge to ignite your Venus so you can hold your vision. Mercury holds the vision. Mercury is a messenger in the Greek mythology. Mercury is the messenger of the gods and from above. The motive behind your desire is the holding power of the desire. Your Mercury says, I want my son. I want my daughter. I want my wife. I want my husband to have this, and I'm going to give it. They're suffering. Pain drives you. You know, all desire comes out of pain or lack or want. A hungry stomach desires food. An empty purse desires money. An empty heart seeks romance and love and friendship. But if you desire it using the four proclamations, the 4 steps to visualization, and the 4 steps to meditation, and it is not one step by step, it is an at-onceness. The driving force of desire is the motive behind the desire. This is your brain. Brain is cold. It's like a computer. It's a processor. You load it up with your vision, and it keeps it there, and the vision software is made, the Venus is software, and the computer can only work with the driver and the software. Most people in today's world, stress is caused by too much head, too little heart. Passion. Passion is heart. Head is only processor. Its use is fantastic, but don't let it control you. In the Ancient Secrets of Success book, I teach you that don't let the dog take you for a walk. Dog is your best friend. It looks odd when the dog takes you for a walk, but you take the dog for a walk and keep it on a short leash. That's Mercury. Mercury is a naughty planet. It's the smallest planet, the hottest planet in our solar system. What you need is warm stirring of the emotions drives desire to fulfillment. The next point, I'm going to touch on it, and most of you have it, is music is the universal language. Listen to good music. You know, if you haven't seen it, there's a funny movie, very few people have seen it, but I enjoyed it. It's called The Fiendish Plot of Dr. Fu Manchu. I think the rock music operation took it away from the scene. But if you can get it, Peter Sellers plays the role, and he was going to take over the world by using Rock-a-Fu, Dr. Fu Manchu, his movies. But it creates a groove inside the rock. You can't, when you get, some people when get in the car, they can't mess. If the music is not on, they have a withdrawal symptom. But music is the universal language. The ancients knew that. They created music. They called it raga, classical music. People have to remember that. I'm not telling you to go and listen to classical music, but these 7 notes are the 7 heartbeats of your life. And you can combine it any way to create ecstasy in your life and peace. And what happens? Stones, plants, animals, humans, all are affected by music. You can make a plant grow faster, better, smell better. Stones can be cracked with music. Glasses shatter with sound. Sound is life. Animals. I'll tell you the music that I have composed called Consciousness Rising. One of the people that came to my seminars, she said she had an old cockatoo, and it's always very old, ancient cockatoo, white. Cockatoos are white, and she used to shriek and cry and make a racket. And when she played this, she was playing the music for herself, but the cockatoo did not make a racket. It was so peaceful. You see, the cockatoos are making these rackets. They're stressed out. For years they've been on the perch, their little legs got to the chain. What do you expect of the cockatoo? But when the music released them, gave them peace. Humans all are affected by music. Some of you have the music. Music reverberates throughout the universe. You know, in your body there's a music going on. This is called the unstruck sound, which you these ears cannot hear. But when you meditate on the word which is in the book, and if you do it constantly and regularly, you will start hearing the inner music, the inner sound, the unstruck sound. It is the harmony of existence. Wild animals love this music. The plants thrive with music. Remember the flute of Orpheus, the old Greek tale. Orpheus used to, in the forest, play his flute, and all the animals came quietly and listened. Music, listen to this. And this music that I have made, most of you have it. And remember, this music, listen to it. Wake up to it. In the morning, put it on your wake-up call. The consciousness rising. And then when you go to sleep, let it put you to sleep. And also the Four Proclamations are also, I'm meditating on it. I'm repeating it with my voice. Or there is a track which is without the meditation. The Four Proclamation, but the meditation music goes on. Okay? The Four Proclamation meditation, consciousness rising with the music of the cosmos, it's got about 22 notes. And they take you from your consciousness to actually, to the whole visioning process is given there in music, in the language of music, the universal language. And then the other CD, Awakening with the Heartbeat of Rock and Raga. Rock is the Western modern song, and Raga is the Eastern. And we fused it together. And what happens? You can truly, please do not play the music of the cosmos, the consciousness rising in the car while you drive. It'll make you so, people have been told me that they missed their exit. They were so caught up with the music in the highway. So I'm telling, but you listen with the awakening, listen to the music called Awakening. That's when you're cooking, when you're driving, when you're playing with your kids. Love it. You can even dance with the kids with it. In my seminars, I put it on for breaks, and they all get up and rock. Even in the Caribbeans, in some of the resorts, when they're doing aerobatics or this acrobatics, they're playing basketball. They put on that music. This system of meditation transports the individual into the depths of their consciousness so they can take charge of their lives and set visions and goals from the freedom of their being. You can find out more about the music when you get it and you can get it from the website. I have completed one more thing before you go. Set your goals. If you don't do anything else after this, your goals will change. What you want will change, but make that giant step. After you finish this webinar, no matter what you're doing, take a piece of paper, write what you want, and write down one sentence. If you want to, don't leave it for later. Then come back tomorrow, and now do it for later. But make that commitment to yourself that you spend this hour with me. You'll bring it, give it some value. And I'm going to tell you one thing. Go to the website and join the, this is no cost to you, join the Ancient Secrets Success World Community. We have a global community we have made, a success community. It's global, and become a part of that. You can join there, and you can download 3-part series of how I can, why can't, what is the name of the thing, Neil?
How to stop those negative thoughts coming into my mind.
There are three parts to it.
The three
It's an
parts.
audio, a
Yeah.
lecture I gave. This webinar will complement that. Okay? But make me happy. Please go and write, what do I want? Only one thing. And then you can write all the other things, because I'll have a webinar on setting goals after this. You can't set goals without this webinar. Setting goals mechanically doesn't work. So this next webinar will be setting goals with ancient secrets of success. And may the force be with you. May the proclamations be with you.
Yes. Great. That's a good way to end. Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Good night.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Night.